Hi everyone, this is Rachel and I'm here again with another process video. Before I get started, I want to explain the challenge I'm doing. I'm actually doing this for a message board I belong to, but I thought I'd open it up to my subscribers. So what I'm doing is called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 scrapbook. So basically, you're going to take 5 of one thing, 4 of another, 3 of another, 2 of another, and 1 of another, and use that as your basis for scrapbooking. Now, I'm not going to be some crazy person and not allow you anything else, but it's just kind of like a little fun thing to do. So my 5 are I'm going to use 5 die cuts, 4 different kinds of pattern paper, 3 different color of enamel dots, 2 different kinds of wood veneer, and 1 doily. So I'm just basically showing you what it is I'm using for this layout, and then I'm going to go ahead and do it. And that frame is left over from the chevron. I did a couple of layouts ago. I did a full page chevron silhouette cutout, and I had that left over, so I ended up just using it as a frame. And I'm just showing you some of the die cuts I have. Now, for this challenge, there is going to be a prize, both because I'm doing the challenge on the website and I'm offering you guys a separate prize, and also because I reached 100 subscribers, which, I guess some people is like, wow, and some people is like, 100, that's all you have. But hey, I'm super happy with it. So I have picked out some things I have gotten recently, and some things I got a little, for some reason I purchased 2 of the Chamel date rollers, so I'm going to put that in. I have some washi, I have some enamel dots, I have some puffy stickers from Evilicious, some of which I'll use in here, and a pickup stick from Silhouette, because someone gave me a second one and I love mine so much I figured I'd let someone else have fun with it. And then also I purchased the paper pack for Sycamore Lane from Ellie Studio, and it comes with 2 pieces of each pattern paper, and I took 1 out of each for myself, and I'm going to give away the other half because I don't need a second sheet for everything. So now that I've gotten that out of the way, what you need to do to enter the contest is you need to comment below with a link to your completed challenge, because you do have to do this for the challenge. You can put a picture in Noelle Jones Scrapbook Facebook page. You can put a link to a video. You can put a link to your blog. You can put a link to your Instagram. If you don't feel comfortable with any of that, you can just email me. I'm olliequig@gmail.com, and just provide me a link to it. Alright, so that is basically what you need to do to win the little prize pack I've got put together. Now, I will move on to this layout. I chose some very old scenic route. I had 2 different ones, and I chose the brighter one, which is actually an Easter line, but other than the word strips that say, Happy Easter, it didn't really scream Easter to me, just spring or summer. So I'm cutting apart these strips to use as my 4 different pattern papers. So my first pattern paper is the tone-on-tone dot, the second is the floral, the third is a stripe, and the fourth is that blue and green pattern. So I've chosen this lime green doily. I had chosen denim, white, and then the lime green. I wasn't sure what I was going to use, and I decided to go with the lime green. I just thought it worked the best out of all 3 of them. And I taped those to the bottom of my photos. This is at a frozen yogurt place. These photos are taken at, it's called Sweet Frog, and they're all over the place up here. And my niece absolutely loves going here because they have 16 different flavors, and you fill up as much as you want, and then you can add 30 different toppings, and hers always cost about 4 times as much as mine do. And the cost is by weight, and she puts a lot of stuff in hers. So I'm getting out 2 different inks. I haven't decided which I'm going to use, and so I test both of them on just a scrap of chevron I had left over, and I decide to use the Soft Pool by Hero Arts, and I'm just going to ink up the edges. I'd cut that floral in half because I'm going to put it on either side of that stripe, So I just ink up either side, and then I ink up the stripe paper. I don't ink up the blue paper at this point because I'm not sure if I'm going to leave it straight across or if I'm going to cut it. So what I'm going to do now is glue those floral pieces onto the stripe and get a look at if I like it, if I don't like it, and what I'm going to do with the blue piece. Like, I wasn't sure if I was going to do that or cut it in half and do it on top and bottom, which is actually what I end up doing in the end. But first I'm going to go ahead and attach those two floral pieces to the stripe, and I cut them too small. I didn't need to cut it that small because I end up having too much glue and then I have to rub all the glue off, and it's just a pain in the butt. So I'm going to glue the bottom part on. My niece was very nice to pose for these photos when really all she wanted to do was get frozen yogurt. So the bright blue in the walls really went, I thought, well with this paper. I had that other paper. I didn't bother to write down the name because it's Scenic Route and it's been out of business for several years now. It's not like there are places where you can really get this paper. So I decided I wanted to cut it a little so that white frame would continue all the way around rather than cutting it off. And then I realized I have way too much of this doily on the top part of that photo, so I just pulled it down, and of course I ripped it, but luckily enough I ripped it at a place I didn't care about. So I decided to just add this blue paper as a vertical element, so I cut it in half and then cut that in half, and now I'm inking either end, and I'm going to glue it to the back end of this piece so I can have it as one piece in case I hadn't quite decided if I wanted that strip across to be in the center or if I wanted it to be in the upper third. And now I'm making banners for, well, first I'm going to place out my wood veneer and some label die cuts I'd pulled out, but I knew I wanted to make some banners, so first I cut 1 inch by 3 inch piece, and I'm going to cut a little fishtail end in it and put it as a banner in the upper corner, and then I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm going to make it 2 inches, and I'm going to ink both of those up in the soft pool, and I'm going to put one horizontally across the bottom and one vertically from the top. And then I'm going to add 2 wood veneer pieces to each cluster. And I'm just trying some of the die cuts I'd pulled earlier. I know I'm going to use 5 die cuts as part of my challenge, but I wasn't sure which 5 I was going to use. So I end up using that circle with the navy edging, the Baroque with the navy edging, the soft rectangular in the, for a journaling die cut, that wonky oval that's up in the left-hand corner, and then that Happiness Found one from Ellie's Studio. The others are, the wonky oval is from Fancy Pants, and then the 2 navy rimmed are Studio Calico, and the journaling is from Simple Stories. So I've got my Scotch Quick Dry adhesive to glue down my wood veneer, and then I just take my ATG to the journaling spot, and I finally decide I like where that main piece is, so I'm going to go ahead and glue it down, and then I'm going to have a whole bunch of trouble with my ATG not wanting to work. No matter how hard I pressed it, it wouldn't roll. So it finally got it unclicked from where it was, and then I'm going to glue down my photos. I'm going to have a hard time. I didn't put enough glue in the right spot, so then they kept bending up and annoying me. And I'm going to get this die cut stuck underneath, and then I'm going to put the other one, I decide I'm going to pop it up on some Scotch tape, so I get my big roll of foam tape out, and put that on top there. And now I'm putting on the other banner, but I hadn't decided exactly how to get that wonky oval, and then I finally find a placement I like, and I go to glue it down, and I would put way too much glue on, so then I have to wipe it all off and get it all right. So more glue, more wood veneer. I'm into the wood veneer right now. I don't know why. I like wood. I've always liked wood veneer. I like it's solid, but it's not heavy. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's like my own personal opinion. So now I'm getting this circle die cut on the upper corner as kind of a nice little base for those wood veneer in the right hand side. And I took some of the tacky glue, and like I said, I'd had trouble. I didn't put my glue far enough up on the photo, or I hadn't put any glue down under the doily, and usually I don't mind that, but there was so much doily up top there that I just really needed to add a little glue to it. So I think I'm getting a glue dot. Yeah, I'm getting a glue dot, and I'm adding a glue dot to the bottom there just to stick it down, because it was bothering me. So I get out these thickers. These are thickers that came out through a Studio Calico Project Life kit. So they don't really have a name. They're just called Thickers by Studio Calico. And I just spelled out the word yum, as I did a very simple title for this one. And then I'm pulling out my enamel dots, and this is the last thing for my 54321 scrapbook. And I have 3 colors. I have a beige, a limey yellow, and a grayish teal. It's a teal, but it's very much on the gray side of teal. And I put those in the 3 different areas with the wood veneer and the die cuts. Now like I said, I'm not going to be like actually counting up everything and everything like that. It's just a fun little challenge for everyone to try. And so I did add a couple other things. I added some puffy stickers by Evilicious. These are not these exact ones, obviously. I'm going to give you a brand new pack. I'm not going to give you a half-used pack. But these are the kind of stickers I'm going to include in the prize pack. I absolutely love them. They are so cute. I'd pulled out that that flare, but it was more of a yellow than a green. So here are some close-ups. You have until, what are we at? We are in the middle of January, so you have until, how about Valentine's Day? You have until February 14th to get your